What is this? This looks like some sort of stone grave or something, but... Well, hello Randonauts. This adventure is already starting out with some interesting lighting choices. It is way too bright, so I'm gonna have to wear these sunglasses. I'm sorry you guys cannot see my eyes right now. We'll make up for it later. So today I really want to do some randonaut exploring around a murder case that has happened really recently that has just really affected me and just really been on my mind, and that is the death of Alexis Sharkey in Houston, Texas. For those of you who aren't familiar with the death, and I guess I shouldn't call it a murder yet because officially this case is still very much under investigation and officially it hasn't been like publicly labeled as a murder, but like low-key, pretty obvious, I should say not even low-key, high-key, pretty obvious that there is foul play involved and that this was probably a murder. And I am just really curious to see if we can get some answers with the Randonautica app that might give us some deeper insight onto what happened to this poor woman. As you can see right now, I am in snowy, bright, beautiful Colorado, so obviously what it's like here is nothing like how it is in Houston, Texas. But I'm still hoping that maybe we can be given some locations that will have some symbolism or have some sort of tie to give us some insight on maybe what has happened to Alexis Sharkey. And along the way, I will be definitely giving my own opinions, my own speculations about this case. As I said, it's very much actively under investigation, so there's a lot that we don't know, but also take everything that I say with a grain of salt. I highly encourage you to put your own speculations in the comment below, but as always, be super kind, guys. We're all human here. We're all very emotionally affected by the things that are happening in our world right now, and it doesn't do you any favors, it doesn't do anybody else any favors to be spreading hate and pain and bullying. So please keep your comments respectful, and let's go to the car and start our randonauting. Well, okay, we can take off these bad boys now. So for those of you who don't know, Alexis Sharkey was a 26-year-old, what the media was calling social media influencer. But recently I read something that I think her sister had told the media that Alexis would actually not have been wanted to be called an influencer, that she saw herself more as a mentor, and really what her social media was directly for was to promote business to the company that she worked for, which was called Monet, which was a multi-level marketing company. That's like a mouthful to say. So the whole premise of her social media was not to just be online. It was to kind of drive traffic to the MLM company Monet that she was like a high up representative for. So anyway, she was 26 and her body was found naked and just fully disposed of on the side of a highway in Houston, Texas, like I think 3 miles away from her apartment. And to me, and again, this is my own speculation, it seems kind of obvious that her husband, a guy named Tom Sharkey, is like the leading suspect in my mind. He hasn't really been like publicly named as the leading suspect, and I'm sure there's a lot of good reasons for that, not to be putting too much of the active investigation into the media. But it's just a very bizarre relationship. One, she was 26, he was 49. They had only been together for 2 years. How they met is that Alexis worked at a Twin Peaks restaurant in Texas, that Tom was like a very active goer to her restaurant and kind of like followed her there and met and obviously pursued her as like a waitress at the restaurant. And according to people close to Alexis, she was in a super vulnerable place in her life at the time that she met Tom. She was going through a horrible breakup with her ex-fiance at the time, and according to them, like that was like the lowest emotional point of her life. And so me seeing this as an outsider, I'm like, I wonder if Tom kind of like took advantage of a young emotional lady and like kind of like swooped in like some older Daddy Warbucks figure, and like, I don't know, it just seems a little bit odd. He's 23 years older than her, and I know that like age isn't, you know, a thing in relationships, but it just seems odd in terms of like the way they met, the timing that they met, and then also like how quickly the relationship progressed from like they met, got engaged super fast, got married super fast, and then right before her death, according to friends that spoke to her at a Thanksgiving event that she was at, she claimed that there were marital problems and that she was planning to get a divorce. So it just seems like of all the things in her life, it just seems like the person that is the most likely to be involved is Tom Sharkey. And he also said some just kind of bizarre things, I think, after her death. So anyway, I've just been kind of captivated by this whole thing, and I am just really curious if we can get some sort of locations that might give us some answers. So for those of you who are just tuning in to my Randonautica videos, there are two main apps that I use. There is the original Randonautica app that I'll show you on my phone. It now looks like this. It had that one. It had a big update over the summer, and it was offline for like 6 weeks, and then it was put back online. But I have not had very good luck with points with the new updated app. So I have been using this one. I'll show you. That's the icon for it. It's called Randonaut Location Generator app, and it is technically a copycat app. But for some reason, it gives me the most like amazing points. Like 9 out of 10. It leads me to places that I am like, whoa, this is, it's like there's a clear association happening. And so I love that app. I joke that there's a ghost in my phone that gives me the locations because I don't know why it works so well. And that is the app that we are going to try to use today. So when you first open the Randonaut Location Generator app, it just shows you kind of where you are. And then at the bottom of the screen, you hit Randonaut. I'm going to try to find an attractor for this first point, and we're only going to do 1 point. So now it's asking me to officially set my intention so that it can give me the point. And so my intention for this first point is to get just some more information on exactly what happened to Alexa, like what happened that led to her death. And yeah, it's kind of open-ended, so who knows what we could be led to, but that's my first intention. So here we go. What happened to Alexis? What happened to Alexis? What led to her death? Okay, it's got something for us, and it looks like maybe this is like a neighborhood. It always gives you like a little screenshot preview first of the point that it's giving you. And so let's navigate there to see like if I can get a better, oh, interesting. It's kind of out in the middle of nowhere, but like kind of around houses. So that's what it's showing me. So let's just drive out there. I don't know if it's like in someone's backyard as per usual. I can't like go in there, but we're going to drive as close as we can to it and see what happens here. So let's go. So the radius that I set for this point was actually kind of large. So what's interesting is that this point is kind of close. It's in these kind of back road, sort of weird neighborhoods that I really don't come here very often, but it's kind of farmy out here. It's very beautiful, obviously, but it's just interesting. I don't know, as per usual, do not know what's gonna happen. So let's just keep going and see what happens. So we're getting kind of close to where it wants me to turn, and I'm really worried that it could be someone's driveway. Oh my goodness, yeah, I think it is. So I'm gonna pull over and we're gonna talk about this. Okay guys, as you can see, the point is down here. It wants me to drive down here, but this is technically someone's kind of long driveway, and I am not super comfortable with going on someone's private property to get to this point. So I'm a little bit disappointed because yeah, there really could be something back there that is a representation of maybe of what happened to her, but it's also just kind of creepy. All these kind of back area farmy neighborhoods are sometimes kind of creepy, but yeah, from this vantage point, I don't see anything necessarily that really strikes me, but I also don't know. So let's start over. I'm gonna pull over to a new spot. Okay, I just found there's like a different road that's like clearly definitely a public road that I think might get us at least like better view of where the point is. So we're driving down this way now, so wish me luck. If anyone asks, I'm just gonna pretend like I'm lost and just drive away, you know, just casually do that. Okay, we're kind of getting to the end here where I don't know. I just want to get past this kind of pinkish house on the right, and then we can see better. Okay, yep, just taking my little time over here. Okay, there's like an old wooden structure there. The point is like right down there. So let's get out. My blue dot was kind of freaking out and going all over the place. It thinks we're a little bit farther than the point, but But I just wanted to show you guys kind of exactly how far away we are. There was a little prairie dog that popped his head out when I got out of the car. Now he's gone. But here we are. The point is actually, I think, kind of by that brown looking shed over there. This whole area kind of gives me creepy vibes. There's like a lot of barbed wire kind of abandoned, and whatever this like black electrical thing is hanging. And there's like an abandoned wooden structure over here. This whole area just feels like just a little bit odd. And I'm still not sure what to make of it, but the point is definitely down there kind of by that shed. Do you see anything? So I really didn't want to linger too long over there because that is private property, and I don't know, you don't know when someone has like guns or something, so you can't see anything because it is like weirdly shadowy. But I didn't want to linger too long, but I just wanted to get like at least some idea of like what was going on around that point. And I am confused. I mean, it had a creepy vibe, a little weird, a little sad, and like isolated. The fact that the point was kind of near that shed makes me think that maybe she was like isolated somewhere. Like, was she put into a shed? Was she put into a room or something? Like, who got it? Like, it disturbs me to even think about like what might have been done to her. I really don't know, but maybe that shed was like something similar in terms of like what she might have been put in, or I don't know. The thing about a case like this is that there's still so much unknown, and also there isn't a lot that we even know about Alexis personally. Like, obviously people that knew her know stuff, and I definitely have read a lot of stuff about, you know, who she was. I think I've watched like all of her TikToks. Like, I went through her Instagram and like watched all of her stories that she had posted, and so in that way I feel like I knew her, but at the same time, like, I don't know enough about like how she grew up, because maybe even like that area that we just saw, maybe she grew up in a rural area that was similar to that, and somehow maybe that's a connection to her. There's just a lot of things that we don't know, and we also don't know even how she died. Like, the toxicology report I don't think has been made public yet, and there's just so many questions, and so that makes it even harder for me to speculate, I guess, in terms of like what exactly happened. But I still am like red flags all over the effing place about this Tom Sharkey guy. Like, he was so weird. Like, if you watch her videos, and I might even put some in right here.
They started with us going to get some breakfast, and it's turning into a bar hopping day.
Day drinking.
Day drinking down the City Central, so that's how today's going. I have a boyfriend.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking maybe we can be, you know what I'm saying, you can be somebody for me to know.
No, my boyfriend crazy. He kill people.
Oh, okay, all right. No, I don't want none of that right now.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right.
If you watch some of the videos that she posted with him on her Instagram stories, he's always just so like creepily standing behind her with like a weird smile on his face, and he just looks like weirdly always like protective and like strange. Like, I don't know how to describe it. He just has like the weirdest vibe about him. And I can imagine that like if she decided she didn't want to be with him after, you know, only knowing him for 2 years, because they got married way too fast. I shouldn't say too fast. That's, you know, I don't know. They got married fast. And maybe she realized like he was not a good match for her, and then he freaked out and did that thing that men who have issues do, where it's like, if I can't have you, no one can have you. And who knows? That's why he just seems like the biggest suspect to me. So yeah, but that point was not satisfying to me at all. Like, it was just, it didn't give me enough information, and so we're gonna do another point. I think for this next point, my intention is I'm gonna need to make it, I think, more specific. So I'm gonna set an intention that has often worked really well for me in the past, especially if I'm channeling intentions that have to do with people who have passed over, and that is that I want to set an intention to get a specific kind of message from Alexis. So I want Alexis to send me to a location that will give me just some information about like what does she really want us to know. And it could be about her death. It could also be about like if she's at peace now. It could be about whatever she wants us to know. Like that part is open-ended. So, but I just really want to channel an intention that has to do with what does Alexis want us to know. All right, we got the app open again. There we are. It's all reset from the old point. We're gonna go with an attractor again. The radius that I usually choose is 3,000 meters, which is a pretty big radius, and I think I'm gonna stick with that. Okay, time to set the intention. Here we go. What does Alexis Sharkey really want us to know? What does Alexis Sharkey really want us to know? Alrighty, let's see what we got. Oh, this is interesting. It's like on the side of a lake or something. Can you see that? That's the preview. It just looks really intriguing, like really interesting. Although again, I worry that it's behind houses and I hope it's accessible because sometimes those places are not. But let's navigate and see. Oh, okay. I know where this is, I think. Wow, this is really intriguing because this, I don't know. I'm not even gonna, I can't even speculate yet, but like I guess I'll just say I'm really hoping that this is a message that she is at peace, because if this is the place I think, this is like a really beautiful, peaceful lake area. So it almost makes me like emotional to think about, like, I really hope that that's what the message is here. So let's start driving and see what happens. So as we're driving there, we still got like a little bit of ways to go. But I just want to know, am I wrong for suspecting Tom Sharkey is like the main suspect? Because if he really is innocent, like I obviously do not want to spread any hate about him, and I totally understand that it's like innocent till proven guilty. But I just don't know, is there someone else who's like a really obvious suspect that I'm missing? I don't know. Like I just really want to know who else could be a suspect. So we are getting a lot closer to the point. We're in this really nice neighborhood now, which makes sense because this is a really nice spot, I think. And yeah, I'm not totally sure exactly where we're gonna park. I haven't really been in this specific neighborhood before, so we'll see. So I just parked, and now we are going to have to do a little bit of walking to try to figure out, one, how to even get to the lake, because the lake is kind of protected behind all these houses, and I think this path gets there. But also, I just noticed after I parked, I looked up and look what I saw. I don't know if you guys can see that super well, but it's a mailbox, and someone taped a big sticker on it that says love, and I think that's just such an interesting coincidence that I happened to park right next to this on the journey to this point. And as I often say in my videos, that the journey to the point is sometimes like the bigger part than just the point itself. So I always pay attention to the things I see on my way to these points. So this is the path that I found that I'm really hoping kind of winds back to the lake. It's really beautiful and peaceful back here. It's a super quiet neighborhood. So far, instead of feeling those creepy feelings that I was feeling kind of looking at that shed in the first point, I'm just feeling like a lot of emotion and a lot of, yeah, love and peace. So that's a good sign. So we'll see if anything else happens as we get closer. Okay, now I'm getting a little confused because I really am starting to think this little lake is behind these houses, and I am not finding a way, like a public access way. But isn't this a super beautiful little cute like house situation? I'm not going to go in their driveway because that's weird, but I'm going to keep searching for a way to get back there. Just to give you an idea of how close I am, it's literally, the point is literally right there through those trees behind this house. We're so close yet so far. Dang, Alexis chose such a cute spot. I'm just loving everything about this moment. Like the lighting, the trees, the sun. I just feel like this whole neighborhood is so peaceful and awesome. And I obviously want to get to the point, but even if we can't get to it because it's not public, this is still, I think, a really good sign. Oh, you can kind of see it. Can you see through the fence there that there is a lake down there? And who knows if we'll get there, but there it is. It is chilly out. My nose is all red, I feel like, because it's cold. And anyway, it was pretty obvious that there was not a public access point from the street. But before we wrap up, I'm really gonna try to get to this point. I'm gonna drive to the other side and see if maybe on the other side there's some like public access trail. And then if not, I still feel like we got the message loud and clear that one, I think she really wants us to love ourselves and each other, and like the message of love I think is really strong. I'm like staring at it right now as I'm talking to you. And then also I really do feel like she is at peace, even though obviously something horrible and tragic happened to her. It's just very comforting to know that you know stayed on earth, you know, all that horrible stuff, and that she is at peace somewhere. So anyway, I'm going to keep driving and see if we can get to this point from a different angle. Okay, persistence wins, and we have nailed it. So the point is right over there. There is this amazing, big, beautiful, like Victorian looking house. Is that it? Yes. That is kind of like, that's kind of where the point is, but it's more, the point is closer. It really is like right kind of on the shore of the lake. So amazing. This really is super beautiful, super peaceful. I've never been over here before. It's just a very cute, it's more like a pond than a lake. But let's see if we can walk over to those trees, because that seems more like where the point is. Huh, look at that. That tree is a face. Although, you know what I just realized it's like super messed up is that face weirdly kind of looked like Tom Sharkey. Like, am I alone in thinking that? It had like the same kind of like goofy sort of like look that Tom Sharkey has. So what if like that's part of the reason she wanted us to come over here, is because of that? I don't know. Now I have like chills thinking about that. That was creepy. What is this? This looks like some sort of stone grave or something, but it's obviously, I don't think it's a grave. It just looks like one. It's very bizarre. But guys, this basically is the point. I'm gonna give you a little panoramic view. We are next to the pond lake thing in these kind of really beautiful trees, but we're also like right next to whatever the stones are, which is weird. We're also under this old Victorian house that I showed you earlier. You cannot see it very well through the trees, but it is a really beautiful place. And I guess I'll try to get like a little bit closer. So you can see here we are, and technically the point is it's kind of up on the hill there, and we're not going to walk over there. That looks treacherous, but at least we're pretty close. I'm definitely getting a mix of vibes now. Like, it feels peaceful, it feels beautiful here, but there is for sure an eeriness about this area that I am not super sure what to make of it. And the rock thing that looks like a grave is really creeping me out. Or in a weird way, it kind of looks like a well. It's hard to tell with the snow on it, but the way the rocks kind of come up on the edges, it looks almost like a well. I don't know. Maybe I should stop fixating on it. Goodness gracious. Just look at the pretty pond. Just look at the pond. One last look at this guy before we go. Tom Sharkey vibes or no? Is she trying to tell us who the killer is? Let me know. Treacherous rocks. Do not fall. Do not fall. Oh my gosh, my hands are literally icicles. You can't really see. You can't feel it through the camera, but they are. Colorado is very deceiving in that it can be so sunny and so cold at the same time, and I did not come prepared. So please let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think of this whole thing? We just went through a lot of kind of weird information that we got, from the shed in the first point to the weird Tom Sharkey face here, and like whatever else was going on in that nature spot, because it did feel like a mix of things, and I'm really just not fully sure how to process the whole thing yet. So let me know in the comments below, and as always, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more of me, and I will see you in my very next video.